Hi, I'm Mando. I am the communications manager for Auburn Symphony. Today, I'm here with our music director, Wesley Schulz, and we're going to be discussing holidays, and especially for our holiday spectacular, which will be on December 8th, a Monday at 7 p.m. at the Auburn Performing Arts Center. How are you doing today, Wes?
Oh, doing great.
We just got dumped on in the rain, but
It is a classic fall in the Pacific Northwest.
it is already. So let's start out. I like starting out with weird questions.
Okay.
So, what is your least favorite holiday treat and why?
Least favorite holiday treat. It's probably a treat where I can't even admittedly, I don't know if I've even had it, but I think I've just looked at it and been like, no. But there was a tradition in my family of passing back and forth a fruitcake. And so for a long time, it would go from like an aunt, and she would put it in the freezer. And then the next year, she would pull it out of the freezer, give it to my mom, and regifting it, right? And the next year, pull it out of the freezer. Like no one wanted the fruitcake, and they kept passing it back and forth. So I think it's always poisoned my mind. But it just also doesn't look appetizing. Not only because it's been passed around for a couple decades, the same fruitcake, but
No, I've seen fruitcake fresh, and I still don't think it looks gross. Like, does not look appetizing in the least.
no. I love watching these on Instagram. There's this guy who cooks vintage recipes from like the 1950s.
Yeah.
It is absolutely hysterical, and it's got all sorts of things that just should not go together. And I think fruitcake falls into that
Yes,
category.
fruitcake is disgusting.
Bakers are going to write into the episode. And,
Right. Like, fruitcake's delicious. It's not. Mine's banana pudding.
Oh, I do like actually
With the
banana-
wafers?
I like, with the wafers.
Yeah, the banana pudding
But
with
you
the
don't
wafers.
like it.
And real banana. I hate banana.
Oh, it's a bit. So would you like bread pudding?
No,
not-
I hate that too.
So it's not just bananas.
It's that kind of pudding-ish.
It's the texture.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'll pick the like cookies off and eat them, but
But they're soggy.
I can do that, but that's like if I'm pushed.
Got it.
But
Got it.
I'm gonna avoid that
Got it.
banana pudding thing.
Yeah.
The holidays always seem to bring out a special kind of energy, especially with the orchestras. And orchestras I've played in holiday concerts are always something they're just different than the main stage.
Yeah.
What makes our holiday spectacular different?
Different. I think what's so great about this program is, this is one of our highest attended concerts of the year. We've really leaned into it over the years. That's why we call it our holiday spectaculars. We try to keep surprises in store for the audience. There's always something or someone who's going to appear on stage or some piece of music that's going to be sort of unexpected. And I think why it's so special is that often the holidays are a time where everyone can identify with it in some way. Whether you're religious or not religious, we're aware of the traditions that surround the holidays. And some people have those traditions that they cultivate that are unique to their family. Others are shared. So and part of those shared traditions that we all have is maybe singing together. Maybe it's decorating your home in some sort of way. Maybe it's this exchange of gifts. So I love the commonality. It's not like it's common as in like basic, but as in like we share this all together as a community, with this opportunity to celebrate the holidays. And so, and there's so much great holiday music that goes with it. And so I think it's a special time to really pull the community together in solidarity and mutual support. We're all there for the same reason. We've had reindeer outside in the past. I'm sorry they won't be there this year, but they will make an appearance again in the future. We're going to have this wonderful holiday market, which I think I'll talk about later. So to me, what makes it special is just it's so community driven. It's a great time to bring your family. If you don't normally come to the symphony, fine, but come to this one because you're going to know the music. There's so much that's going to be familiar, and it's a great one to bring the kids to, as well as grandma and uncles and cousins. And so that's what I think makes it special. It's just such a community family feel to this.
Yeah,
program.
and there's like a different attitude, especially within the musicians, like going on stage, and there's a different level of like performanceship that you have with holiday concerts. They seem a little more exciting and fun and nostalgic, and we get to play stuff that we played when we were little, or like that kind of back again. Do we ever like keep the same piece that we play all the time?
There is a piece that generally appears every year, and so it's a classic piece of music that most everyone know. It's Sleigh Ride. So sometimes I conduct, sometimes we auction off the opportunity for it to be conducted. Last year we had one of my best friends, his daughter, come up on stage, and we shook some jingle bells to it. So we'll have a guest conductor this year, Dr. Suzanne Johnson, who's the president of Green River College. And she is the successful winner of the auction to come on stage and conduct it. And she's a musician too, so I think she plays piano. So I think it's going to be really fun to have her up there.
I've heard that she fought hard for this for a long time to
She's been
become
a
the
couple years.
conductor.
She's been in a bidding war. So this year her number came up on top. And we're thankful for her patience. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So, but that's one of the pieces that are almost always on the program. And then we almost always do a sing along. So again, like I remember back in, I went to Ball State for undergrad. I have a degree in music education, and I was instrumental driven, and I was thinking of being a band director at the time. But I loved how we also had to do singing. We had to do choral music in our classes because if you're working obviously with elementary students, one of their first exposures to music is through singing. And I love the idea of community singing, whether you've done it in your church or again these classic holiday songs that we all know. I love how it just pulls people together. We all know how it goes, and we get to sing along together with a full 65-member symphony orchestra. So that's a tradition that I love the community and aspect of that. So that's something we also typically do, and we usually end our programs with that, which we'll do again this year.
Yeah, and we always have like a bigger singer coming along and singing with us. Like last year we had Tim Pavino, and he's done a lot of stuff this last year and been very all over the world and was in the Philippines and recently came back. But this year we have Jimmy Harrod from America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And Pink Martini. He's been doing that Pink Martini, I think, since 2017. So
Yeah.
he's been doing it a while. I know my first impressions, and maybe we can talk about that too. But what were your first impressions when you heard Jimmy sing?
Yeah.
Like what kind of feeling did you have when you first heard him?
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy's voice is very special. And I had the great privilege when I was with the North Carolina Symphony. I served as their associate conductor. And we had Pink Martini come and perform with the orchestra, and I conducted that concert. So I did 2 shows with Pink Martini, and Jimmy was on that program. And he got to do, I don't know, it was 1 or 2 pieces by himself, too, because a lot of times Pink Martini, if you don't know them, they're this mix of piano and drums and jazz and Brazilian and all these different styles of music that just kind of work together. And then they'll often pull, especially singers, out to the front and sometimes give them a spotlight. So Jimmy got to do a couple solo pieces, and he just has this beautiful, resonant, thoughtful, jazz-inflected, often soul music. He loves musical theater, but all the things. He can do classical. He can cover sort of all of the genres of music. And I was just like, wow, this kid's great. And so we kept in touch, because obviously we met and worked together. And then I've just been trying for years actually to get him here on our Auburn program. So it actually worked out where he's literally doing a show with Pink Martini on Sunday, flying in to do our concert on Monday, and then he flies out to do another concert with Pink Martini on Tuesday. So he's literally wedging us in amidst a very busy December schedule for him.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad it's going to work out. He has such a special, unique, wonderful voice, and he's local too. He actually lives just down in Portland.
Yeah.
So he is actually kind of local when he's not on the road to it. So he's a dear friend as well as a wonderful colleague, and so I'm really glad to have him with us.
Yeah, and I've heard different things that he's like lives in Portland, but some people have said he grew up in Tacoma.
Yeah, sorry, Jimmy, I can't remember. I think he is kind of local to the area as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that on a couple of advertisements that he's like a Tacoma native.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Have you gotten to see his golden buzzer moment?
It's been a while. I watched some clips a couple of years ago, but yeah, he was on the show twice, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on All Stars later. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. I mean, so a wonderful platform. And Tim Pavino, when we had him, he was also on. He was on the other show, right? America's Got Talent, I believe.
That was Jimmy's.
That's Jimmy's. Then it's the other one, the Philippine version, is what Tim was on as well. So both of them were on singing competitions. More of a coincidence than anything else, but obviously it just as a demonstration that people hear their talent and want to feature them.
Yeah, I recently watched the golden buzzer moment.
Oh, okay.
And I agree with Simon Cowell. I don't really like Tomorrow. I think it's a little overdone sometimes. Yeah. But his gave me chills.
Yeah.
I was just blown away with how through a video screen, how much he emoted and how he could connect with an audience and just how beautiful his voice was.
Yeah.
And then I liked how Sophia gave him the golden buzzer, which I didn't even understand what that meant until everybody explained it to me.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see how he's such a powerhouse of being a major musician and singer. And I think the biggest thing that makes him relatable is how he can emote through his voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you bring up actually a good point of and I think this is the reason why people should come and check out our holiday spectacular is a lot of this music is familiar, but when you hear it in this context by this orchestra or in this arrangement that I've chosen, just as you say, there's so many pieces we've done over and over. You've heard this carol before. You've heard, the music from this movie before, but maybe not in this arrangement or in this way. And so even though it's familiar, it's going to have a fresh aspect because there's so many different ways to do it. So yeah, with Jimmy singing his own version of Tomorrow, it's a song everyone knows, but he got to do it in his own voice. And I think that's one of the special parts of hearing live music is that you haven't heard it all, folks.
Yeah, every time it's different, and especially because I think in this world we get a little too used to canned music. Like we get used to pre-recorded, either through a video, through like iTunes or Spotify, and so we miss a lot of that emotion. And then when you come to a live performance, it's just so different.
Yeah, absolutely.
You always, I'm sure you prefer live performance.
Well, it's fun.
I think there's
absolutely.
just such a different atmosphere, and I think like you get to hear the emotion when you feel it live, especially with that many people behind you. And it's different. Like with Pink Martini, there's a small amount of people and then a singer. With a huge orchestra, you get all that emotion behind it. You also said that we're going to have a holiday market.
Yeah.
And that's going to be our first time having a holiday market. How does that feel to you to be connected to the community in that way, having local artists come in and sell, plus we're going to have other things like Santa.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel that we're going to be so connected during that time of like, there's a lot of things going on, but still we're going to make this time to have more people coming to our concerts and being part of our event?
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the reasons I love this program is because there's so many different aspects to it. So again, in the past we've had reindeer, we've had jazz Christmas carolers singing before. We've featured various musical groups performing in the lobby before the concert. So this year, it was an idea of the staff actually. So you can probably talk more to it, but we're going to have a little market where you can come in and do some of your Christmas shopping. And this is nice and early in the season. We always do our concerts, at the beginning of December. So this is December 8th again. So you can kind of get a head start, hopefully, on some of your shopping and support local artists and artisans. So we're just happy to network with them, give them a platform to showcase their wares and just add to the atmosphere that we're trying to create, which is just a early moment in the holiday season of togetherness. And of course, it's great for kids too. So we have the shopping, which is probably geared toward the adults, but we always have Santa Claus will be there to listen to children's requests for gifts they may want to see in their stocking on Christmas Day. But they can have their photo taken there. Sometimes we have crafts. We always have food and hot cocoa. So there's lots to do in the lobby before the program.
What is a favorite tradition of yours?
Oh, I mean, personally speaking, I think I always just love putting up a Christmas tree. When I was young, my mom I have two siblings, and she would always assign us each tasks during the holidays of helping decorate the house. And so mine was always like getting out the box of ornaments, checking them all over, getting the lights out, make sure the lights all work, so that then, as a family, we then decorate the tree together. So I just kind of like that readying of things and getting things ready. And so I do that same today. I always make sure that our tree is out. And the ornaments now that we put on them, Cameron and I, we always... whenever we travel to somewhere special or new, I always keep an eye out if there's something that could be hung on a tree, whether it's an actual Christmas ornament or just something representative of that trip, so that the tree becomes a tree of memories for us. And so then every year when you pull those out, we get to reminisce about the things that we've done, places we've gone, people we've met, experiences we've had that mean something to us, and that's represented in an object on the tree, which is special to me.
Do you have a favorite ornament, or do you have a ornament you've kept from childhood and you keep it with you?
My mom has passed a couple to me. She got little, and Cameron actually has one too. So it's kind of of course we didn't know this until we met, but little ornaments that are like that gold metal color and has our names on them. So and our parents respectively got them for us when we were very young. So my mom has passed that on to me to put on the tree. So we have one with Cameron's name and one with my name on the tree. So those are just nostalgic from childhood days. But yeah, recently we do these big family vacations on my side of the family every year. And so there's about 18 of us. And so we did, we've done Disney World. And so there's a Disney ornament. And again, that represents, all of us getting together, which is kind of rare when you pull 18 people from 4 different states together, or 3 different states these days. together to be somewhere. So that means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's hard to get 9 people to show up and come to one place at the same time. 18's a lot.
Yeah, 18's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. That sounds like a really fun time. How long has that tradition been going?
How we've been doing this probably every other year for the last 8 to 10 years.
So, you just pick like a different destination all the time, or do you guys usually go to the same point?
Try to go to places where people haven't been before. So next June, we're all going to the Big Island in Hawaii. Or sorry, I should say we are going to Honolulu, not the official Big Island.
Okay.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
I would like to see Hawaii in the holiday season. Because that would be such like a
in
juxtaposition.
Shorts and a tank top. Yeah.
Like everybody, it looks hot, but then you're like a Christmas tree. Like similar to California.
I used to live in Texas, same thing.
Yeah.
It'd be like hot and it's like 2 days before Christmas and it's 80 degrees.
Yeah, because I'm used to when I grew up on Eastern Washington, so we had snow and then coming over here and I was like, oh my God, this is the first Christmas where it's just going to be rain.
Yeah.
Do you like getting snow or is there a certain weather that you prefer?
I love the snow. Yeah, it's a little wet here for me, but one of the things I've started doing to enjoy the Pacific Northwest more during the winter is going to the mountains. And so I'm an active ski and snowboarder these days. So I'm counting down the days until there's enough ski on the mountain where I can go to some resorts and experience the snow on the mountain since we don't tend to get it in the city.
You like skiing?
And snowboarding especially lately. Yeah. A lot of fun.
But isn't it so cold, or do you just
it doesn't bother me at all. The
really?
colder, the more I want it to be blizzard. Well, if it's blizzarding while you're snowboarding, then you can't see, so that's been a little scary. But I love the snow. I just get out there and I just smile. Like when it's wintertime, I want to see the snow. And I grew up in Nebraska, so similar. Like we'd have heavy winters. We had snow days. We had blizzards. We would go, ski, sledding and building snowmans and forts and snowball fights. So all that is just built into me. So I do crave that contact with snow. And so lately getting out to the mountains has been my way to sort of have that engagement with winter.
I've never skied, nor do I seem like I want to. I've had the opportunity a couple of times and I'm like, no. My parents are from Texas and California. And so we're warm-blooded people and like
surfboards
get cold too quick. I'd rather go to the ocean rather than be in the cold. And I just all of a sudden see the snow and I'm just like, oh my God, that is so cold. I can already feel it in my bones.
Well, the favorite thing I did last winter is it was been on my bucket list is I wanted to go dog sledding. And so one of my best friends, we went up to Fairbanks we went the week of Thanksgiving, which isn't even the depth of winter yet there. But it was already, I think the coldest it was during those few days was -30 before the wind chill. I loved it.
Going back to the concert, what kind of feelings or what outcome do you think you want people to walk away with when they leave the concert? Like, how do you want them to feel?
Yeah, hopefully I hope people just feel uplifted and they leave with a smile on their face. Whether that's because you came with your granddaughter or grandson, and they just got to see maybe an orchestra for the first time, but also hear an orchestra play something that's really familiar, a Christmas carol maybe that they adore. So I love that engagement. I hope there's an element of surprise to the program that people just like, oh, that was whimsical or fun. But that's our goal. This concert is entertainment. We often, anytime the orchestra performs, it's entertainment. But I know with classical programs, we sometimes take ourselves more seriously. And there's formality to the program. But with our holiday program and when we do film music later in the spring, these are times where you're meant to have fun. You're meant to smile and enjoy yourself at these programs. So that's the whole point of why we do this concert, is just to provide joy to people in a world that's kind of difficult to live in these days. And so I hope this is a moment of respite and a break from all of that. And you just kind of come in and have wonderful feelings for a couple hours.
Yeah. I personally, I've played in a lot of holiday concerts, and I think it's really fun. Piccolo parts are usually exciting and cute because that's what they do. How do you feel like the holiday concert's really different than a main stage concert?
Yeah, I think mostly it's that element of familiarity. So again, music that I'd say 80% of what we're playing you'll know. I throw in a couple Christmas pieces, but ones that may not be as familiar to folks because we do have that in the classical repertory. But I always also put in music from films that you know and love and adore. In the past, we've done The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. A couple years ago, we screened The Snowman, the film, and we played the music live to it. So there's always that familiar pieces along with one or two that may be a little less known, but I'm sure, I promise rather, those are equally enjoyable. So there's going to be that element too.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite piece you like to conduct?
Oh God, on the Christmas program?
Yeah, like a Christmas
Oh,
program.
my gosh. I mean, there's so much music actually that if you've come to this program year after year, I hope one of the things that you've noticed is that it's not the same program every year.
Mhm.
You know, it's not like doing the Messiah every single year, which is wonderful, great music. You know, but there's so much that we can do, and I think people are often surprised by how different the program is year to year, and that's on purpose because there's so much to enjoy. I don't want to just do the same thing every year. So I think it's more of like the spirit of the program. I usually try to find a fun outfit to wear. So I think last year was the elf.
Yeah, you were an elf. That was cute.
So, so no giveaways on what may or may not be on stage this year, but it's, again, I just love to lean into the joy and the wink of the eye and just having fun with the program. It's more the spirit that I love engaging with.
Is there any kind of like hint you can give us on any surprises there were?
How many surprises? Oh, let's see what I can.
Like, is there
can
a
or
hint you can
can't
give us?
share. I've told you about our sleigh ride conductor, but I'll just say there's often some guests on stage that appear to help tell the story of a certain piece of music. So there'll be some storytelling, actually a couple instances of storytelling with guests on stage. So I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. But both stories will be very familiar in two very different contexts. One is very nostalgia, old school, and another one is more recent, although it's aged a little bit. But I think all the adults for sure will immediately know what's going on when we start playing. So I like to just tease and so that there's some surprise on the program. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I think I know the surprises. I think they're going to be really fun. I'm really excited to see them.
Yeah.
Even myself, like I know what's coming. I'm still really excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, holidays are a wonderful time for creating music. So there are performances of the Messiah. There are, churches do, especially obviously on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, do big, elaborate, services that often call for full orchestra or brass ensembles and that sort of thing. So yeah, our musicians are pretty busy. And what I kind of love is we do our concerts on Monday evening, always early in December. And what I love about that is that people are usually pretty free. If we try to do it on a Saturday midway through the month, everyone's got their holiday parties or their school activities that they need to be at. And so for us, the Monday works really well. We're just making it an available night for our audience. But it's also because over half of our musicians play in the Pacific Northwest Ballet. And so between the day after Thanksgiving and December 28th, these musicians are giving 40 performances of the Nutcracker down up at McCaw Hall in Seattle. And this has become very near and dear to me myself because I've had the great pleasure of being a guest conductor for them. So this will be my 4th season of participating in the Nutcracker. So I'll conduct somewhere between 10 and 12 performances of the Nutcracker. So these are musicians that, literally every day they are together for the month of December, often playing the Nutcracker. And then they have this Monday off to come down to Auburn to do our program. So you may hear a little bit of Nutcracker something on this program. But I'll leave that a mystery, and it's not quite necessarily what you may think. But I also encourage, all of our people listening and coming to the concert that if maybe you already have the tradition of going to the Nutcracker, or if you haven't had that opportunity, come on up to Seattle, check out one of the performances. We'll also put the dates that I'm conducting on the website of the Auburn Symphony, and we'll send that on an email if you want to come to one of the programs where I happen to be in the pit. But it's a beautiful production, keeps us busy, and again, it's about tradition, family tradition. So we do 40 performances because so many people have that as a core part of their celebrating the holidays.
Do you even need to score at this point?
Do I need to
Do you
score?
even need to score?
Some conductors like to memorize, but it's like a safety blanket for
Yeah.
me. So I know it well at this point, and the corners and what to look out for. But I would never, I guess, not look at it. But it's special music at this point. It's endearing when you've played it so many times. And we have musicians in our orchestra who've been in the ballet for 20, 25 years, 30 years. So you think how many performances of Nutcracker they've done. It's in the thousands, for some of them. But that's because it's such great music and it's such a great special tradition.
So can you tell us again, like what are the details for this concert? Like when are we having this
Yeah.
and everything?
Program is Monday, December 8th at 7 p.m. at Auburn Performing Arts Center. And so I think you have to tell me, actually, we open up the Christmas market. Is it an hour and a half in
An hour
advance?
before.
Hour before. So starting at 6 p.m., you can come and all the vendors are set up. I think they'll be set up through intermission. So if you're contemplating an item to buy during the first half of the program, you can still grab it during that intermission time. Yeah. And tickets are available online.
Yep.
We also have a family rate. We have a student rate for a lot of our programs. Any place in the Auburn Performing Arts Center is a great place to sit. You can sit up in the balcony, the main floor as well. Personally, I kind of like the balcony because I think it sounds really great up there. The music really coalesces well in the air up there. So.
I prefer the balcony myself because I can see the whole orchestra easily. I can just look and eagle eye into like what the orchestra's doing.
Yeah, but the main floor, you're also up closer. So really, there's no bad seat.
No. And I think the hall does a really good job with all the sound and it mixes it well. Well, thank you, Wes, for doing this with us.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you again so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. We look forward to seeing the audience on December 8th.